What's up? What's up? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Hit the like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content, all of my videos. Now, snakes, fakes, serpents, backstabbers, evildoers, whatever you want to call them, savages, and not good savages, not savages for good reason. I'm talking about being savage to destroy in all types of forms, and they can manipulate you. And of course, we knew that about James Harden. These are the cold Harden facts about him. And in case y'all don't know what I'm talking about, a report had came out and basically said that Harden had basically told Durant that he would sign an extension with the Nets. He actually told him twice during the offseason that he would sign an agreement with the Nets. Harden had even made it made those statements when he took the trip to Greece, and Harden began to kind of have doubts in the situation after Durant had injured his knee. And also, again, we know about the whole situation with Harden being upset about Kyrie Irving in terms of him not wanting to be beat up or whatever. Um, and this is what he said. He said, "quote if you know." And look, you gotta you wait. Let me before I get into the quote. Let me say this: Kevin Durant actually really he took the high road. I mean, a lot of people felt like he took a decent approach about his decision long term, and despite what some people may believe, is that Kevin Durant was angry. Now I know he felt kind of sideswiped to a degree, but my thing is this: he's taking his anger out on the court, which is take it on the chin, smile, and keep it moving, and succeed in another way. Now this is what he had to say. He said, "quote It wasn't like it was a disconnect between us as individuals. It felt like we liked each other." He said, "But I was focusing on rehab, and he was focusing on the team. No, he wasn't. He wasn't focusing on the team. I guarantee you, he was not focusing on the motherfucking team." And he said, "Naturally, I wasn't around the group, but I can't control how everybody feels in that situation." Absolutely. He also said, "We're building something cool over here, as to what's going on now. Kyrie's a huge part of it. Even though this year he was in and out of the lineup, but he's still a huge part of what we're trying to do, even though a lot of people didn't want him a part of what he was trying to do." And then he said, "It's one of those obstacles that has been fun to climb over, to be honest." Now, I've been very critical of both Kyrie and KD's leadership, but in this case right here, you got to be able to say that he was you got to be able to say that he was a leader. What's up with it, Wait? What? I see you in the building. Now, I told See what I was trying to tell you, man, is that he was trying to use any angle that he could to go ahead and get up out of there. Everybody already knows that Harden was focused to get over to Philly from the get go. So he pretty much had his master plan working the whole entire time. And listen, everybody knew that he was a snake and a savage for what he did. Listen, James Harden is not to be trusted. And y'all probably be like, well, Polo, this is old. Why are you bringing this up? Everybody knows this. Everybody in the LDBC already done brought this up. Blah, 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 blah. Well, this is the reason why I'm bringing it up. Because now there's friction going on between Embiid and Doc Rivers. And it makes you wonder, after reading an interview. Yeah, I mean, listen, wait, what? I told you, he was not to be trusted. And look, you did what you could as well. I know you don't like to be called a fan, but like you like to be called a supporter. As a supporter, you try to rally around James Harden, and listen, I was telling you, man, that guy cannot be trusted. He couldn't be trusted the whole time. Now, if you was pushing how you felt about KD, okay, yeah, I understand that. And even with Kyrie, I understand that. But I kept telling you, man, with Harden, he's not to be trusted at all. And he's the Achilles heel to every situation. Look at what's going on right now. Wait, what? Now you have a situation where Embiid has hit his boiling point with Doc Rivers. Well, I find it strange that what's his name is over there now. Harden is over there, and it seems like he's the common denominator to almost every situation. He's becoming to what a lot of people feel like what LeBron is in a lot of situations. And I don't give a damn what people say. What I just said about LeBron, man. I know y'all get all sensitive every time somebody critiques LeBron or they critique their favorite player. Okay, but look, I find it odd that he's coming over to Philly now, and now stuff is starting. A whole bunch of finger pointing now. Not to say that wasn't going on, because I mean you did have a situation that was going on in the diva in Ben Simmons, but yeah, hey, wait, what? He told him twice. And see that's really like when that's savage at its most. But I mean it's cutthroat. It's cutthroat. It's cutthroat. And I would let everybody in right now, but I kind of want to stay on the line while I'm doing this, but I got something to take care of in a little bit, so I'm not going to be able to stay on this long. But I mean, this right here, man, it goes to show you, Harden's legacy is gonna be he's gonna be known as, okay, yeah, as a as a great basketball player and everything like that individually and stuff like that, but as a teammate, he's not gonna be known as a good teammate. I'm wondering what they're gonna say at this guy's enshrinement. I'm wondering I'm wondering how guys are gonna feel at his enshrinement. I'm just wondering how guys are gonna feel. Because something like KD and Harden met together. You say Kyrie brought KD and Harden back together, not KD. Well, no, no, no. Well, I mean, yeah, but That situation right there, man. You see, everybody thinks that Harden and KD were like these great, buddies or something like that. I would say their relationship is more like Russ and KD, if you really want to be honest. But Russ's relationship with Harden is much more deeper than that, if that makes any sense. So when you say something like that, wait, what? I mean, that right there, bringing them, putting the band back together, so to speak, and stuff like that. I kind of had my doubts about it. That's why, like, when I was on Tickets Channel a long time ago, when the Brooklyn Nets had first got together, I said, man, this guy cannot be trusted. I kept saying it. I said it over and over and over again. Everybody wanted to combat me and talk, then try to bring up the comparison between Russ and Harden and stuff like that. I said, man, Russ had already brought up the fact of how Harden was, and that was just workout habits and stuff like that, and him, being in film session and stuff like that. That wasn't even the icing on the cake, so to speak. Now we're talking about a contract, extension in which he was basically saying that he was going to go ahead and stay, and he was, he told KD something, and then did the complete opposite as soon as he saw how things were gonna play out. But that's not what a man. Look, a good teammate, a good solid teammate would have just been like, you know what? To be honest with you, and this wouldn't have been no weakness right here if they just sat down and be like, look, man, I'm feeling this type of way, man, but I still want to be together, stuff like that. Man, he didn't do none of that. He didn't do none of that. It's like all listen, he was there. He had something in the back of his mind, like, a couple people had already speculated for him to get closer to Daryl Morey, his plan of attack, being that he was already on the East Coast and everything. And that's the situation. See, they're trying to compare the situation right now with Julius Randle, with Harden and everything. But see, he shut that down real quick. See, Julius Randle, he's smart for what he did. He came out and he basically said, okay, the rumors about me being traded are not true. Woozy woozy woo. And he also said that I want to remain a Nick, I want to be a Nick and stuff like that. Now that I can respect that. Now whether or not he meant it, that's a whole nother story. But the fact that he came out and basically, shut down the rumors, and Tibbs shut down the rumors, that says something. This situation right here, you didn't really have that. I mean, you had a lot of speculation. You had people say, there was rumors. The rumors started brewing and stuff like that. Some people said he was gonna stay. Some people denied it. All this other stuff. If he was real about it, he would have just been like, "Look, nah, I'm staying here. I want to be with the team." Da 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 da. All this other stuff. And if he did say it, it wasn't like he was for real about it. Man, please. I've already told people. Look, this guy, man, listen, everybody knows how this thing is gonna play out. Doc is coaching for his Doc is coaching for his career right now, pretty much, you could say. His coaching job is on the line. Embiid's numbers are going to be days. His days are going to be numbered. Excuse me. And all for what? For a disgruntled veteran who probably doesn't have that much longer to play. He does. We would listen. I know some people want to sit here and act like that because Harden came to the team, he's doing much greater. But um, at the same token, we were doing, like, to be honest with you, we were doing better without Harden. Maxey was growing. He was getting a chance to, go through trial and error. Yeah, well, Scrub, no. The report had came out and basically said that Harden had Harden had lied to KD. He said that he told KD in the summer, twice, or in the off season, that he was going to sign an extension with the Brooklyn Nets. He had made that promise to KD. Before all the stuff had happened. KD uh, had the situation with his knee, and then of course Kyrie Irving elected not to take the shot and all that stuff. And he had made promises to KD that he was going to go ahead and take the shot. I mean, I'm sorry about that. He had made promises to KD that he was going to sign the extension. So that's what's going on. But you're probably wondering why I'm bringing this up. The reason why I'm bringing it up, Scrub, is because Embiid. If I don't know if you've seen my other video, but basically I was just saying that Embiid. There was a report that came out. He basically said in the press conference how he voiced his frustration with Doc Rivers. Well, I find it odd. You know how, like, you mentioned, Scrub, about the common denominator and everything? Well, hey, that's where James Harden is. Everywhere he goes, look at it. Now there's friction going on. It wasn't any of that going on before. I mean, people were frustrated with Doc Rivers' coaching decisions and his rotations, his lineups, or what have you. But now Embiid is really voicing his frustration about it. And some people, one might say, oh, well, what does that have to do with Harden? It has a lot to do with Harden. The fact is that, okay, you got a guy that comes there, you got a guy with another ego, you got a guy that automatically gets, put in the lineup and stuff, and these other guys have been working, and they've been working hard to keep us in a position where we're at in a relatively competitive position. And then now all of a sudden you got this friction going on. You got finger pointing going on. Embiid is, he's frustrated with Doc Rivers and stuff like that. Doc Rivers, right now, since that report has came out, that's no coincidence. Listen, if Doc Rivers don't get it done, scrub zero, and wait, what? He's done. Oh yeah, that's facts. That's facts. He's listen. Okay, yes, did he play good last game? Absolutely. He shot 40% from 3 pointers, with the exception of that air ball in the crucial moments and everything. Okay. However, however, it's showing more and more that you are what? All about the regular season, all about your numbers, and you have a diva like mentality, and when things don't go your way, you somehow, some way try to weasel your way out of situations. That's why, like, when people try to argue me down when it comes to a guy like Giannis or certain guys, like when I look at a guy like even DeAndre Ayton, okay, you know, he's not yet a superstar, nothing like that, but people talking about the contract, the money, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, is Aiden frustrated about his money and all this other stuff? Yeah, he was, but it did not affect his play, and he's still going out there to produce. With Harden taking time off, making excuses, sitting down, finding any excuse to weasel your way out of the situation, just like he did in Houston, just like he did in Brooklyn. And then as soon as he sees something that's not going, as soon as he sees, like, okay, let's say for instance, him and Embiid, I'm sorry about that, Doc and Embiid are getting into it and stuff like that. Well, he's like, well, shit, I'm in the middle of this and stuff like that. What do you think he's gonna try to do? And he got Daryl Morey there, gonna probably try to go, behind their backs and say this and say that. I can already see it happening. Next thing you know, Doc is gonna be gone, especially if he doesn't make it at least to an Eastern Conference final or to a finals. Everybody has said that, people have already been critical of Doc, and people knows how this is gonna play out. And I just find it strange that everywhere this guy goes, he's like I said, he's a he's a team killer. You know, Jacob Jennings tried to argue me down. Shout out to Jacob Jennings and everything. But like I told him, you might be a great, basketball player individually. You might be able to score with the best of them. But that doesn't mean that it makes your team better. It doesn't make you a championship caliber team. I'd rather have, a guy in Halliburton who's at least working hard, working his tail off, not saying much, you know, doing what's necessary for the betterment of the team than to have an egotistical guy and jacking up shots or playing when he wants to play and all this other stuff. I don't want that on the team. That's contagious. Drama queen. Yeah, exactly, Lou. But hey, Lou, I know you heard. If you just tuning in, Lou, man, Harden had lied. That's why I named this video Cold Harden Facts. He lied to KD twice in the offseason saying that he was gonna sign an extension. Yeah, but a lot of people, to be honest with you, in the beginning, though, Scrub, a lot of people weren't for sure if Harden was gonna stay or if he was gonna go. A lot of people didn't, to be honest with you, there was some people that were hoping that Harden would stay. And like I said, Lou and Scrub, check this out. You see, I find it odd that now all of a sudden that Embiid and Doc Rivers drama is starting to come to the forefront. And guess who's behind the scenes? Guess who they don't talk about? Guess who they don't talk about leading the league in turnovers? Guess who they don't talk about? Being a cancer to the team. Guess who they don't talk about? Uh, Being inefficient. Guess who they don't talk about? Sitting out games and stuff like that, making any type of excuses. They don't talk about Harden. Of course not. I've been telling people that man, listen, you could be great individually. All this one-on-one ISO stuff, that's great, but man, it's not equating to winning. And people's like, oh, well, Polo, why aren't you happy about this? You should be happy that And Harden's there. Da 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 da. They're trying to compare this. Man, they're trying to compare Embiid and Harden to Shaq and Kobe. Are you serious? Like, come on. True, but he's showing what he can't handle adversity. Well, it's more visible for the general public. Well, yeah, I know that, but that's not what I'm talking about, though, Lou. I'm talking about the fact that Harden lied and he had told because nobody honestly knew what Harden honestly was going to do. There were so many conflicting stories, remember? But the fact that he said that he was going to sign an extension and he promised KD, that he was going to sign an extension, that makes him look like even more of a snake and more of a savage. You know what I'm saying? Than what he is. But yeah, you on point with that though, Lou. About that's why, like, as far as the Bruce Arians situation, I I knew I kind of knew that uh Bruce Bruce Arians, because there had been friction between Tom Brady. I'm just giving an example. There had been friction between Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, and that's why he was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and go, and be in the front office. I don't even want that motherfucker being in the front office though. I'm just being honest with you, Scrub and Lou. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm just talking about in terms of friction, in terms of, you know, two guys being combative, or one guy being combative or whatever, and the other guy being humble. In this situation, KD was humble, Kyrie was humble, and Harden was not. Doesn't it sound familiar? It sounds familiar when he was in Houston. Guess what? He said he was gonna, you know, the team told him, the team Silas told him that he was going in a total different direction. They want the ball to move. Then next thing you know, he's pouting. He's mad because what does he want? He wants control. He wants control. So that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? And Harden is just, is who he is. You could continue to have faith in this guy if you want to. Yeah, but Bruce Aaron, I mean, you sitting here talking about Tom Brady though, Lou. You need to be talking about Bruce Aaron. Bruce Aaron is not, dog. He's not. You act like he's the best person to be around or something like that. Like he's just this guy, that doesn't have any blemishes. His track record. Tom Brady came back. Yes, I understand that. But who do you think that, man, listen, them guys don't care about Bruce Arians. Tom Brady he brings more to the table than Bruce Arians does, and the entire, if you really want to be honest, than the entire organization. But Tom Brady isn't, regardless of what people want to think, regardless of what you want to think, Lou, and regardless of what other guys want to think about Tom Brady. Okay, y'all got your own opinion. Tom Brady is not. He's not gonna sit there and do the shit like Tom Brady does. I mean that James Harden does. And if he does do it, it's gonna be in a more, I guess you could say, um, how could I put it? It would be more in a in a different fashion. Like, you know, maybe like pulling guys aside or whatever, or but not, the blatant disrespect and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You had AB calling, saying Tom Brady, saying stuff about Tom Brady. I understand you frustrated, AB, and I was on your side about Bruce Arians and the organization making you play injured and stuff like that. But a lot of that stuff you did bring on yourself. And Tom Brady tried to look out for you twice. Tom Brady's looked out for everybody. Who you think? Tom Brady wants to get Gronk back. Don't nobody got faith in Gronk like that. Gronk is old. He's beat down. He's wore down. Shit, he might as well. He might as well. He was about to retire. You might as well just go ahead. They need wrestlers now. Triple H just retired. Go ahead and just go back and wrestle. But you got to worry about if you could do that, because wrestling ain't no more easier than football in terms of the grit and the grind and the hustle and the uh, the amount of wear and tear on your body. Exactly. He doesn't belong in there, man. He doesn't have a strong personality. Hey, listen, Scrub. Have you ever have you ever told have you ever heard me even speak highly of Bruce Arians? I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just keep it a buck. I've never spoke highly about that guy. You know, if it was up to me, I want Tony Dungy back in there somehow, some way to flood his knowledge on the game back in Tampa. But I'm gonna go live a little bit later, man. Make sure y'all pull up, like the video, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the homie Luda Ryder Sports and also Scrub Zero. Till then, man, Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. I'm gonna get at y'all later.